check. Okay. Yeah. Hmm?
We all need some kind
Hello, hockey fans, and welcome back to Grant Fuhr Arena here in Spruce Grove, Alberta. My name is Trevor Miller. Happy to be joining you on this Tuesday night as the Spruce Grove Saints play their inaugural blue-white game to kick off the 2024-25 season. Joined as always, and happy to have back on the broadcast Tyler Woke. And Tyler, an exciting year ahead for the Saints, for their fans, and for this community, obviously. There's a really cool thing. I guess you could say it was really cool, but it is. It's a brand new rink that's going to be coming into play. That is a far ways down the line into the new year, but for right now, the first full year in the BC Hockey League. A lot to be excited about here in Spruce Grove this season.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Trevor, and welcome to Saints Nation. And it's definitely a very exciting season upcoming. You mentioned it, new league, new building coming here, hopefully in early 2025, a new look of the team, new jerseys that'll get unveiled at the home opener here in a couple weeks. As you mentioned, being a part of the BCHL for the first time as a full-time member after everything that went on last season, and I know everybody's very excited about that. And last and certainly not least, a new voice of the Spruce Grove Saints. A welcome to Spruce Grove, and I'm looking forward to a really exciting season and getting to learn a lot more about the BCHL from yourself.
Yeah, big shoes to fill, and we'll see if we can do that over the course of this season. But exciting times, and obviously looking towards this game today, Tyler. Team Blue and Team White obviously getting a handle on things. I wish we had more creative names than that, but we'll go with that for now. And let's take a look at Team Blue and who is on that roster. And, you know, it's highlighted by, obviously, players from last year when you look at guys like Ryan DeCook. And then also, but some newcomers in there as well, including the likes of Brody Juck and Max Sagan that could have big parts in this team this year.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys I'm really looking forward to. Sagan obviously have a little bit of a past history of watching him play for the Bonnyville Pontiacs the last few years. A guy I'm really excited to see. Brody Juck, who spent some time in Alberta last year as well. I know one of the big off-season additions by General Manager Rob Sklaruk and the scouting staff. You mentioned DeCook. I think was arguably the MVP of the Saints last season. A season that was a bit of an up and down ride, not only on the ice but off the ice as well. And really excited to see what he's able to do after having one full year of junior hockey under his belt.
Jumping over to Team White, and of course some newcomers in there as well, with some faces that, you know, we're looking forward to seeing from the past as well. Xander Maselli, who was recruited as a goaltender, as well as Joseph Cantilio, who are on this team. But, you know, you look at the forward group, Matheson Mason, Colin Doherty, some newcomers that have experience in junior hockey, and then of course Dylan Ruptash and Ryan Johnstone, two players who knew Spruce Grove very well.
Yeah, again, some interesting names that have definitely had the opportunity to see play in the past, and very excited to see how quickly they're able to gel together with the other guys within the Saints organization. And you mentioned Maselli, a guy who comes to Spruce Grove from Nashville, Tennessee, a guy who's worked very closely with the Spruce Grove Saints goalie coach Brad Guzda, a guy who's been around here for a couple of years now and did some great work with Ryan DeCook and all the other goalies that came through last season. Really excited to see Colin Doherty. He had 38 points in 53 games, and you and I touched on this a little bit before the game. 104 penalty minutes, and anytime a guy's able to be even anywhere near a point-a-game player and have nearly 2 penalty minutes a game, those are my kind of players. That's kind of the way I used to play. I used to spend a lot of time in the penalty box and up around the offensive blue line. And unfortunately, I'm going to date myself here a little bit, but we saw the two-line pass back then. So that was always something that drove some of my coaches crazy.
Well, and I guess it makes sense that you're between the benches and in plexiglass again. It's almost like you're at home being down there all the time.
Yeah, and I'm on this side of the glass and not on the other side of the glass, or on a bench, or wearing a referee jersey.
Of course, if you don't know, I'm upstairs in the broadcast booth, which is in the corner of Grant Fuhr Arena. Tyler's in between the benches, so get some interesting tidbits from there and an interesting angle to look at as Team Blue and Team White on the ice to begin things here for this game tonight. Xander Maselli will start in goal to our broadcast right today for Team White. Of course, wearing the Saints jerseys of last year, white with yellow and also blue trim. Ryan DeCook will get the start to our broadcast left in the Saints navy blue jerseys with yellow and also gray trim. But of course, as Tyler highlighted earlier, the Saints getting new jerseys that will be unveiled at the home opener. Baby blue added to the logo this year. Of course, going on with the slogan of Fear the Blue for the Saints this season as the teams get introduced and we get ready for hockey for the first of many games this season for the Spruce Grove Saints. Of course, the exhibition season starting up on Saturday. We'll be in Brooks for that game, the Saints and the Bandits, as we get to our national anthem. National anthem's in the books as we get ready to go here on this Tuesday, or this Wednesday, I should say.
No, it's Tuesday
no, it is
today.
Tuesday.
Yeah,
I
you're
got my
getting
days
ahead of
all mixed
yourself.
up. I really am. I'm really just trying to get closer to the hockey season as it's the Saints Team Blue versus Team White. Again, Xander Maselli will start in goal to our broadcast right. Broadcast left will be Ryan DeCook. Tyler, what are some of the things you're looking at for this game tonight?
I think it's overall that we all know that these inter-squad games sometimes get a little bit ramped up and a little bit emotional, but these guys are just going to try to stay healthy as much as possible, get themselves prepared for the upcoming preseason, and actually getting to get into some live fire, playing against somebody not wearing the same logo as yourself. And, you know, again, for some of these younger guys that are trying to make an impression on the coaching staff, you got to be able to make do with what you're given throughout the game and show the skill and play within yourself throughout the game to try and make as much of an impact as possible.
Should be a lot of fun. The camp has been intense so far. We're underway here in this intra-squad game as Team Blue trying to work this out of their own zone. It's Cole Cronenwood on the left wing side. He got knocked off the puck by Ryan Johnstone, and it's Brody Juck who will go back onto it and circle behind his net and bank that puck off the boards on the right wing side. Austin Peters ahead for Josh Pollock, who will advance his way in after spending part of last season with the Saints, coming over late in the season. Team White moving back in. Matheson Mason brought the puck inside the blue line. He'll take it back out to center and work it back inside of his own territory. Played just under a minute so far here at Grant Fury Arena. Pretty good crowd piling in for an intra-squad game here in Spruce Grove on a Tuesday night. Puck back down below the goal line of Ryan DeCook to the broadcast left as he looks over his left shoulder. Max Sagan working that out for Team Blue, and he finds Stephen Kirkpatrick, who will give that ahead on the right wing side. Danilo Garcia will make his way inside of the offensive zone as the puck below the goal line now for Kirkpatrick, circling up to the right circle, now back up to the high slot, trying to work around a check on the left wing as he was knocked down. That by Grayson Niehaus, and this will come all the way back around to the right point. Controlling that is Bodie Pearson with the shot. That was knocked down, and another opportunity from the left wing side, covered up and held by Maselli on that original shot by Gabriel Kenny. Playing just under 2 minutes, first shots of the game to Team Blue, and what's been a pretty good start pace-wise to this game.
Maselli gets into the action here just a minute and 37 into the first period. A couple floaters from the blue line. Always nice for the goalie to feel a couple shots early on in a game and not have to sit back for too long.
Yeah, that could be a different thing for goaltenders. If you've got a really good team in front of you as Team White ices the puck, so we'll have another face-off back inside of the Team White zone. But, if you've got a really good team in front of you, which is obviously what you want, but you only see about 18 to 20 shots a game, it can be tough to get into that groove. So you got to think an ideal number for a goalie is about 25 to 30, where they can stay pretty sharp throughout the course of the game.
Yeah, and everybody's so different when it comes to that aspect. Some goalies like to kind of tiptoe their way into the start of a game. Some guys like to see a lot of rubber early on, 3-4 shots in the first minute of play, and that sort of thing. But you don't want to get tested too much, and like you said, sometimes you're in a position where you don't give up any shots, and then all of a sudden it's one little breakdown and a breakaway for your first shot in 4 or 5 minutes, and that's a tough save to make as well.
From the blue line, that was Pearson trying to come in to make a play. Gabriel Kenny holds it in for Team Blue, who have had a lot of the play early on. Here's Pearson, a shot, and that's stopped by the right pad of Maselli. He had that kept underneath of his pad, so talk about a quick start for the goalies. Ryan DeCook has yet to see a shot in the Team Blue net because his team spent a lot of time in the offensive zone, and Maselli so far a perfect 4 for 4.
Yeah, good look from Pearson there. He's able to get it through the first shot block and tries to slip one right along the ice below Maselli, but he pinches that pad right against the ice, does a good job of sealing, and makes another save.
DeCook blockering that long shoot-in attempt from center from Zach Lozier up and out of play. Lozier playing last year with the Merritt Centennials, who were part of the BCHL, now part of the Kootenai International Junior Hockey League this season. So the Saints picking up Lozier throughout the offseason as they did a number of moves. This team's got, or is going to have, a very different look from how they did last season. As Juck will leave that ahead on the left wing side and banked out here by Team Blue as they'll advance to center before Team White takes over, and they'll start their way back in down the right side. It's Mason down the wing, cuts behind the net, a wraparound try, and a good right pad save there by DeCook. Puck to the blue line and a long shot forced wide from the left wing point there by Team White, and that came from the defender in Brett Barnes as this puck will come back out through center and chipped ahead there by Blue. They'll go off for a change. Cole Serdachny sent that one in. Back down below the goal line now. It is Team Blue trying to make their way down inside of the offensive zone. Ashton Hutchinson forced it down low and back up to the right point. Now it's Oscar Wu with a long shot that went off a stick and out of play. Just over 3 minutes gone here in this opening period. 0-0 remains our score. We talk about some of the players, Tyler, that are coming in for the Saints from last year, and of course some of the newcomers, but for some of these players that maybe will be going back to their academy and also minor hockey teams, this is a big game for them to try and show the Saints staff what they're all about.
Yeah, exactly. And like I mentioned, you want to be able to show your game the best that you can, play within yourself. If you're a checker, you're out there, you're being physical. If you're a playmaker, you're trying to find plays and move the puck around, and just playing within yourself is, I think, the biggest message that was sent across by the coaching staff, and something these guys have heard their entire lives as they've worked their way up through minor hockey, now into junior hockey.
Austin Peters with a puck, picked up from the Chilliwack Chiefs here last season. He makes his way to the net, a backhander, he scores! Austin Peters, great speed down the right wing side and goes to the backhand to put it through the legs of Maselli, and Team Blue opens the scoring on a terrific rush by Austin Peters.
Peters, the main commit, recently acquired from the Chilliwack Chiefs. A great job driving up the right-hand wall and an excellent play right in the center of the ice by Cole Cronowit to make a deft little area pass right at the offensive blue line. Peters is able to get a step on the outside and beats the defender to the front of the net in a nifty little forehand, backhand 5-hole on Maselli, and Blue has an early 1-0 lead.
There's a lot of expectation behind Peters, a guy who was one of the leading scorers for the Portage Terriers of the Manitoba Junior Hockey League a couple of seasons ago. Went to Chilliwack, didn't get a whole lot of an opportunity there, so a lot of things that he has impressed the coaching staff with so far in Saints camp, and that's a heck of a move to make there as we get a penalty here in this game, and Team White, who has had a tough start to this game, they have yet to get a shot. And now they're going to go to the penalty kill as well, as it looks like it's going to be Grayson Niehaus who's going to go off, and he's going to be called for a hooking penalty. So Team Blue has had the advantage early on here. Will go back, or will go to the power play for the first time tonight.
And power plays and special teams as a whole in these types of games are always always interesting. Everybody's been working on the same sort of systems, and just a matter of who can execute better to be able to have either an opportunity on the power play or to kill off those power plays.
Yeah, obviously these guys haven't spent much time practicing formations or anything when it comes to the power play, but we'll see how this one goes, and an opportunity here for Team Blue to get their lead even further. Kiefer Miller back behind the net for Team Blue as he'll circle back along to the right point for Juck, who lost the handle. He couldn't find it in his skates, but it'll be Team Blue who will take this back over, and back inside of his own zone is Matthew Lessick, who's getting ready to get into his second season with the Saints after spending his rookie year with the team last season. Lessick will carry ahead on the right side, makes a move and lost the handle, but it came right to Miller at the left point, who dropped it back off to Lessick as Blue tries to set up their power play formation. Juck at the midpoint, walks now as he'll take this shot through traffic, found its way through, and good left shoulder save made by Maselli. Comes back around on the left side. Here's Lessick with the now left point, push to the middle. Juck right circle, sent to the net by Pollock. That went off a body, and now the puck will squirm its way back into the left corner. Team White will get to it, they can't clear. Juck's pass went off the back of the skate of the Saints forward there in the middle of the ice, that in the defender in Lessick, and that will come back inside of the Team Blue zone as they'll try to make their way back in. Oscar Wu with the blue line. Attempted to force that toward the net, couldn't do so. Team White back onto it though, and back behind the net, they'll find the handle and clear it down ice. And what's been a pretty good penalty kill here for White so far.
Yeah, good and aggressive, jumping all over loose pucks. Anytime a player's turned their back with the puck along the wall, they've jumped and do a great job getting through the first 3 quarters of this power play.
Puck sent off the left pad of Maselli. That's got 15 seconds left in it here for Team Blue. Down low, push to the front of the net, scores! It's Peters at the side of the goal again. A power play goal, and Austin Peters has a pair in the opening 6 minutes of this intra-squad game, and Team Blue leads 2-0.
Yeah, that's some offensive flair from Peters. He's got 2 goals in the first 5 minutes and 53 seconds, and a beautiful finish as Cole Serdachny tries to drive that puck along the goal line. Kind of bobbled it for a split second, but it ends up squeaking out to Maselli's blocker side. And Peters has his feet on the goal line, using that right-hand shot, flipping it right underneath the bar. And 2-0 Blue here early on as they start to run away with this one.
That was a really nice play by Serdachny at the goal line to just push that puck across, and it's Peters who gets the finishing touch on it on the blocker side of Maselli. And again, Team Blue has yet to have, or Team White has yet to have a shot on goal. 7-0 on the shots so far. 2-0 is the lead here for Team Blue. Back at the blue line, Gabriel Kenny trying to make a move with that. That will come in and then out. That is an offside. Again, the Saints starting their 4-game exhibition schedule on Saturday in Brooks. And Tyler, even though it is an exhibition game, you know that Spruce Grove's going there to try and win in Brooks with the rivalry those two teams have.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of the Brooks Bandits over the years, obviously, and always a very fun rivalry, both on and off the ice, if you know what I mean. But it's a tough building to play in, and you know what? It's one of those places that you know eventually you're going to have to win some games in to have success come playoff time, and no better time than the preseason to try to get things rolling and feel good in that building.
Team White with their first chance of the game. Here's Mason trying to center a pass in front. That went off a body and turned the other way by Team Blue now as it's Ethan Cronowit trying to work around a check. We'll get back onto it, and that comes offside. So Brooks on Saturday, and the next Wednesday, the Saints hosting their first home exhibition game. They'll see the Black Falls Bulldogs here, and wrapping things up with a home and home on a Friday and a Sunday against the Sherwood Park Crusaders to wrap up the exhibition season. And of course, the much anticipated home opener coming against the Penticton V's, and I can't wait for that one to see how packed this building is and how loud that game will be for fans here to come and watch that, as Pollock trying to get to this puck on the left side, put it toward the front of the net off the right pad of Maselli, and it comes back the other way as the puck will come out to center and all the way back down inside of the Team Blue end. Juck trying to leave it up the left wing boards. It's Pollock to get to it now and advances that just over the stick of Peters as he'll try and track it down on the right wing. He's looking for a first period hat trick. He's already got a pair, and he's got the puck again in the offensive zone. Peters working to the right side and had that just lost off his forehand as the right hand shot will take his way back and will drift back inside of the defensive end, and it is Team Blue to make their way out from their own zone. Pass ahead is knocked down in neutral ice and scooped back inside of the Team White end by Lozier. Carried ahead now as a stretch pass from Adam Lang will go off the backhand of a Team White forward at center as they'll make their way in offensively. Jack Bullfield was in there as that puck will come around the boards, and unable to gather that one up on the right wing side there at the blue line was Grayson Myers as this puck comes back down inside of Team White territory. Held off and a long shot from the right wing side there by Team Blue, and that was put on by Mason Cadats, and good stop there by Maselli to hang on. 11:47 to go first period. Team White still looking for their first shot of the game. It's 9-0 Team Blue in that regard, 2-0 the score for Team Blue as well.
They just haven't been able to get any sort of sustained zone time or able to get their forecheck rolling, and Team Blue doing a great job of exiting the zone quickly.
Quick shot up and over the goals. This puck will come back around left point. Wu tried to force it toward the front of the net. That was knocked down and taken the other way here by Team White. Started ahead on the right wing side, and protecting on his backhand is Ryan Johnstone. To the blue line, a long shot. That was knocked down in front. Taken the other way by Kirkpatrick as he'll find his way into the offensive zone and trying to connect there with Serdachny, but that will come and be an offside with 11:22 to go in this opening period. But Tyler, we talked about the home opener against Penticton. That's going to be so exciting. Obviously, one of the biggest names, if not the biggest name in the BC Hockey League. A real big way to kick off play against the BC opponent.
Yeah, even just thinking about it, it still feels really weird that's who the home opener is going to be against. And the home opener is always a fun day, a fun night. Regardless of whether it's a hockey game or opening day in baseball, that sort of thing. But when you bring into account that it's the Penticton V's coming into the Spruce Grove building that evening, it just adds to the excitement. And I know this building is going to be pumped, and I know I'm excited to see everything that Penticton's about. And I mean, it's been so many years. It's been over 6 years since a BCHL team has played here at the Grant Fuhr. That, of course, was the Doyle Cup final against the Wenatchee Wild many years ago. It's something that I know I'm definitely looking forward to. I know you're looking forward to it, and I'm sure there will be 16, 17, 1,800 people in this building, and that's one thing. The Saints are so well supported in the community, and especially when you add in that added flair of the Penticton V's being here for the first night of the season. It's going to be a lot of excitement's going to be in the air.
Yeah, going back to when I was in BC, I'm a little tired of seeing the V's so much, but definitely will be an exciting time coming here on September 20th as that shot right in on Maselli, who's able to make his 10th save of the period. And I think there's no better way to kick it off against a team like that. It's a recognizable name and certainly something that will be exciting coming in.
Yeah, exactly. They've got the name, they've got the allure, and when you look at I know you and I were talking about it on Friday. It's when you look at the schedule that the Saints have, there's no weak spot in the schedule whatsoever for probably about the first 6, 7, 8 weeks of the season. And it's the games can get by on you pretty quickly, so you got to get out to a good start and make sure that you're well prepared. And I know all these guys are going to be very well prepared after training camp and the preseason and that sort of thing. But it's going to be a lot of fun.
Should be really exciting and should be a really fun time to watch. And obviously, almost every game, almost every team that comes in here will be a new team and a new experience for a lot of fans to watch for. As this Team White in the offensive zone looking for their first shot of the game. Here's Molfelt back with it. Sends it to the blue line. Trying to make a move there was Barnes at the line. He couldn't find the handle on it, and it comes all the way back down inside of Team White territory as the puck will come back out to center, and taken over here is trying to start that one up on the right wing side was Team Blue in the way of Ashton Hutchinson, and it is Team White that will take over. Barnes, a stretch pass through center, tipped ahead, trying to get to that puck on the left side, and that was Colin Doherty who tried to make his way up with that as it's brought back the other way here by Team Blue. Worked in on the right side, dragging and trying to push to the net there was Hutchinson, but a good defensive play getting back on it. I think that was Myers that had a good play there to break that one up, and puck will come back out towards center. Knocked down here by Team White. They're offside as they try to make their way in as Alexi Lashane got tied up there with Grayson Niehaus coming inside of the offensive zone. So 9:09 to go first period. These games are always so interesting, Tyler, because you mentioned it off the top. There's a bit of animosity just because you get into that competitive spirit, but you know these guys are going to be your teammates, but at the same time, you want to win a game.
Yeah, and from seeing guys in practice in the small area games and the competition, nobody likes to lose, and I'm sure that there might even be a couple friendly wagers, whether it's Gatorades or whatever it might be on this game, and I'm sure there's something even between the coaching staffs.
Definitely Gatorades too.
Yeah, there's always something on the line, but that's one of the things that makes junior hockey so special is just how competitive everybody is at every level.
Brought back in on the right side, moving to the net, put on, and DeCook makes his first save of the game. Ryan Johnstone with the move wide on the right side and flips that one toward the net. DeCook makes that save. Johnstone 11 points in 20 games after the Saints moved over to the BC Hockey League last year, and he is going to factor in to be a big part offensively for this team this year.
Yeah, he's the guy that I look to pop a little bit more offensively, and one of the things that makes Johnstone's game so good is when he's physical, he's engaged, and he's driving the front of the net, simplifying things, looking for rebounds, and just getting into those dirty areas. That's where he's going to find his most success, and looking forward to seeing him have a real big season this year.
Teo Pisani tried to find that puck in the slot, but it's brought the other way here by Team Blue as they'll advance out to center and trying to work his way into the offensive zone. There was Cole Cronowit down in the left wing corner. Big collision back below the goal line, and that will see Team White get the handle on the puck as they'll start ahead through center. Lead feed on the right side, stopping up Pisani. High slot shot. That was put wide. That was Adam Perron that came in with that good look, and I don't know if DeCook got a piece of that. I think Perron just missed the net by an inch as it's brought back the other way by Cole Cronowit, trying to advance it out of his own zone. Pisani there to intercept, banked off the boards to himself, but Matheson Mason was in too deep, and we'll see that play come offside with 7:48 to go in the first period, and Team White's starting to find their legs a little bit here in this game.
Yeah, the chance is starting to flow a little bit more for the team in white. Johnstone gets the first shot of the game for them. 11:20 into this first period. DeCook makes a big save. And then that opportunity for Perron, one he'd probably like to have back. A good quick shot in stride, but it looked like he might have just flubbed it a little bit, missing to the glove side of DeCook.
Puck back down inside of the Team White zone as Blue trying to get the handle on that, but that will come back out to center and played all the way back down inside of the neutral zone before it's carried ahead left wing, and Kiefer Miller a chance working wide to the net. He scores, and Team Blue extends their lead to 3-0. Kiefer Miller down the left wing, able to chip that one past Maselli, and just when it looked like Team White might get back in this game, Team Blue extends their lead to 3.
Nifty play by Kiefer Miller. Excellent job of protecting the puck out on his backhand side. Gets a step on Adam Lang coming up the right-hand wall, drives to the near post, and drags it backhand, forehand, and just elevates up and over the glove of Maselli to make it 3-0. And Kiefer Miller, another one of those guys I'm looking forward to seeing this year. Last year was able to score goals in bunches, and I'd say the first 10 or 12 goals of the season. I don't know if you were able to, or if you were to add up the distance from the goal line to where he scored the goals. I don't know if he would have even made it to the ringette line, as he's a guy that's got to go to the paint and, again, just simplify things. He's got a good shot and stride. He likes to change the angle, does a really good job of that, but that's where he's at his best, is getting that speed on the outside, driving the near post, and using that craftiness around the netminder.
Team White trying to work their way back into this hockey game now in a 3-0 Team Blue lead, as that pass ahead on the boards on the right wing side is pushed ahead and worked back inside of the offensive zone here for Team White, as that puck will come loose on the blocker side of DeCook. He'll just fall on top of that and hang on with 6:39 to go here in this opening period. The Blue-White intra-squad game, of course, getting set up for Saturday in the opening exhibition matchup for the Saints, who will be in Brooks against the Bandits. We'll be there. I'll have the call for you on the Saints radio network on Saturday. My first time going to Brooks, so quite interested in that.
Yeah, it's a good place.
Not many words to say about Brooks from your end, as this is brought back in here by
I've
Team
spent
Blue.
a lot of time there.
I'm sure you have.
In the last few springs, and it's a beautiful building. It's they're very well supported there, and they always obviously have a ridiculously skilled hockey team.
Cole Serdachny in alone, he'll score, and a breakaway goal for Cole Serdachny makes it 4-0 Team Blue, as he was fed from the blue line in all alone and beats Maselli on the blocker side.
Josh Polak, beautiful pass through a couple of the defenders' triangles. Serdachny gets a step in behind, comes right down Broadway, and elevates that one. It's 4-0 Blue, and 3 of the 4 Blue goals have come off transition, as they've been able to just open things up on Team White, as still unable to get any sort of forechecking going. getting outshot 13-1 with 6:12 to go here in the first period. Beautiful finish from Cole Serdachny.
He's had some good looks so far in this period. I believe a goal and assist so far in the period for Serdachny, who set up the second Peters goal in this opening period and now has a goal himself on that breakaway try. As this is back down inside of the team white zone, flung back around on the right side, and this puck will come all the way back down inside of the team blue end. Oscar Wu was back forward and pushed back ahead through to center. Here's Peters, who will carry in across the blue line, but just ahead of the playoff side was Stephen Kirkpatrick, and a face-off that will come back out to neutralize. So 13-1, the shots in favor of Team Blue, 4-0 the score. It's an intra-squad game. I wonder if we'll see any trades midpoint through the game to see if things get leveled up here.
There'll probably be some heavy negotiations regarding that. But we've seen some, I think it was, I'm trying to think right now, I don't know if it was last year or 2 years ago, the inter-squad game ended up being, I think it was like 10-9 or 9-8. One of the teams got out to a 4 or 5-0 lead and looked like it was going to be good night Jim Kite, and then all of a sudden it was bang, 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 and it was a tie game, and then it was back and forth. I think it ended up going into a shootout. My memory, I know that there was a game that was like that. I just can't remember what year that was.
So what you're saying is for people watching to stay tuned.
Yeah.
You're trying to keep the viewer interested.
Trying to keep the viewership here, and maybe this is one of those games that you sprinkle a little bit on the team that's down early in the hockey game.
Yeah, there we go. Look at the odds going
Just
at the bottom of our screen here.
Yeah, just like some of the Edmonton Oilers games in the past years have definitely partaken.
Back with the puck is Team White trying to do that and get back into this game. Teo Pisani on the end boards, got tied up there by Alexi Lachane, and brought back the other way here by Team Blue as it's lifted back in, and a chance to the net, to the backhand, just forced wide of the goal. As going to the net was Ethan Cronowit. Took a pass from Kiefer Miller to get there, and that was a left pad save made by Maselli as this puck is worked around the boards on the right side. Pollock toward the front of the net, and good stop there by Maselli. Like the play of Josh Pollock so far here in this first period. A young guy, but had a lot of chance and a lot of experience to get in with the Saints last year, and I think that's only so valuable coming into this season.
Yeah, he was the guy last year at camp, was maybe one of the more, I don't want to say surprising, as I'd known Josh and the way he plays for a number of years, but a guy that really, really showed well at camp and was very near making the team, ended up going to Shawinigan, had an amazing season last year, and as you mentioned, joined the team after the Saints joined the BCHL, and he was a welcome addition. He was a great offensive player, a playmaker, a guy that's able to distribute the puck, has great vision, skates well, finds a lot of open space, and we've seen it a couple times here tonight, and I'm really excited to see what he's able to do in his first full season of junior hockey.
Nice play there by Grayson Niehaus to get the third shot of the game for Team White as he got that opportunity from inside the right circle, and Ryan DeCook, who has yet to face a whole lot, has stopped all three shots he has had to face so far in this game. So face-off that will come to his glove side, and Oscar Wu will get the handle on that, and we'll work this around on the right side now as it's Cadats who will make his way back out to center, and a puck that bounced away, and trying to get to that one toward the front of the net there. Going to the goal was Kirkpatrick, but could not find the handle on it right in front of the net. So Team Blue trying to get the feet on that, and a big collision there right in front of the bench. We've got a penalty coming up here against Colin Doherty, who knocked down his man, and Mason Cadats right in front of the bench, and Doherty's going to get called. Team Blue's going to go back to the power play. Second time in this game that Team Blue is going to go on the man advantage, and they scored the last time around, and the culprit in Austin Peters is on the ice too.
Yeah, Doherty got high-sticked a little earlier on in that shift. I think he might have had
I don't think he was overly happy.
Burr under his saddle, and then gets a cross-check in on Cadats right in front of the Team Blue bench, and with 3:58 to go in the first period, Team Blue have an opportunity to stretch their lead to a handful here as they have their second power play opportunity of the hockey game. 1 goal on 2 shots on goal on that first chance.
And that's what you mentioned right at the top of our broadcast, is Doherty, a guy who's almost a point per game and had over 100 penalty minutes. So he is not afraid, much like you back in your playing days, not afraid to go to the penalty box.
We call those shift disturbers.
This is sent back down by Team White And then a long stretch pass by DeCook. He can't find his man, and he's actually going to ice the puck. So a faceoff that's going to come back inside of Team Blue territory, and I'm sure everybody's very forgiving about that now. If he does that in about 3 weeks, I don't know if it'll be as forgiving.
Yeah. That's one of the things he's really worked on is the willingness and ability to play the puck, and how important that is nowadays for a goaltender to be able to stop pucks up, take away from the forechecking pressure, be able to bump pucks into an area, allow their defenseman to transition the play as fast as possible.
It's essentially like having a third defenseman out there.
Yeah, and I remember when Mike Smith was with the Oilers, there was somebody that was doing analytics on goalies, and the amount of, I think it was the amount of hits that defensemen took on opportunities that a goaltender would have been able to make a play, and Mike Smith led the league by, it was a crazy margin. And you just think, through the season, 1 or 2 less hits every game for a defenseman is huge, and keeping healthy and having the energy to go on long runs.
Brought back in on the right side there by Pollock, and made a buzzer sound.
We're playing lacrosse. It's a shot clock violation on Team Blue.
Trying to make sure someone paid the bill so that we can keep the ice time rolling. And we got booted off a little early.
Or get the flooring done quicker. Oh, sorry, I went there, yeah.
So 50 seconds remains in this power play. I guess the faceoff will be in the offensive zone for Team Blue. 2:48 to go here in this first period, 4-0, and now the faceoff's not done right either. See, we're getting all the kinks ironed out now.
Yep, everybody
so that
on
we're
the
ready
ice,
to go.
off the ice.
Us as well, this actually being our first broadcast that we've worked together. So who knows what the other, 30-plus broadcasts will have in store for us.
Just like riding a bike.
Yeah, it's one step at a time.
The training wheels might be on right now, but they'll come off eventually.
Yeah, we'll be a little wobbly, and then we'll be straight and narrow by September 20th. Brody Juck with a puck back inside of his own zone. Of course, he's had time in the BC Hockey League. He's played the Coquitlam Express and Trail Smoke Eaters as this gets back to the blue line right point. Lessig across left wing side now. Juck will creep back down to the left circle. Lessig right circle. Polak back to the middle. Kronowit left circle. Here's Juck who will carry back now left point and will set things up and throws it to the net. At the traffic of Kronowit from the edge of the left face-off circle, and that's swallowed up and held by Maselli. And Kronowit, someone who also, we talk about Kiefer Miller, Ethan Kronowit, another guy that's not afraid to get to the front of the net and disturb the play a little bit too.
Yeah, that's exactly where he's got to go to, especially when it comes to special teams. I know when it comes to power plays, sometimes simple is the best. And right there, Juck does an excellent job of finding the seam, but unfortunately, Miller was out to the side of the net as well as Kronowit, and there was no traffic, so an easy save for Maselli, as he's been bombarded here with 16 shots already with 2 minutes to go here in the first period as the teams are back to even strength.
Power play over for Team Blue, so they're 1 for 2 in this game as that puck bumped back out to the neutral zone, and Team White will take over and fire it in deep now as that will come all the way back behind the net where DeCook made a man miss and will play the puck ahead for Wu. He lost the handle on it. He gets back onto it here. Oscar Wu, the Vaughan, Ontario native, playing last season at St. Andrews College, the prestigious prep program that sends almost just about everybody that plays through their system to junior hockey or beyond. Puck down to the left wing corner now, and it's Wu who will gather it, searching for an option to pass, and he'll give it up on the left wing side, but a giveaway there is Colin Doherty in there to disturb things and try to get this puck free as he'll drop it down low for Teo Pisani. Now it's Doherty back to the blue line just past the outstretched stick of Myers, and he'll track back down inside of his own zone in the final minute of this opening period. 4-0 Team Blue with the lead, and Team White looking to try and make their way back here. Here's Myers on the left wing. He's a smooth skating defender that will throw that puck in below the goal line. Pearson with it now as he'll get tied up there on the goal line just off to the glove side of DeCook, and Serdachny will find the handle on it, try to play it ahead off the stick of Peters and rush back up the right side, trying to make a move up the ice there on the right wing. Was Kenny unable to do so. Now this puck will come back down below the goal line. Kenny tying his man up on the end boards here in the final 25 seconds of this opening period. Kicked loose left wing and a feed back to the middle by Niehaus, a shot to the net, stop, rebound, and to Cook there to make the save on Owen LeKelt at the side of the goal. A couple of good looks there for Team White, and DeCook, despite not having much to do in this opening period, staying sharp as Austin Peters towards the end of the period, turning left wing corner, tried to give it back to the mid-neutral zone, and that's taken back out at center by Lesick, and that will sound the buzzer on a dominant opening period for Team Blue. They score 4 times, including a pair from Austin Peters, and outshoot Team White 16-5, and have themselves a 4-0 lead after 20 minutes of play.
Yeah, Team White started to get a little bit more pressure and zone time as that first period ended, especially in the last 3 or 4 minutes. Had a couple good opportunities, as you mentioned, that point shot from Johnstone, who had filled in for Harvey, who got in below the play. LeKelt was off to the side of the net, got an opportunity on the rebound, but DeCook does an excellent job of tracking that puck and covering up the near side post, as Team White yet to find the back of the net despite mounting a little bit of a push. Had 5 shots in the last 8 minutes and 40 seconds of that first period.
And you look at that first period where Austin Peters has a pair of goals. That's a guy who's a veteran player and someone that you like seeing step up. But Cole Serdachny is a really interesting piece there. A kid that played last year with the Edmonton Junior Oilers program, the U18 program in the Alberta Elite Hockey League. Had himself a good season, 27 points in 38 games, 56 penalty minutes as well. So he's not afraid to disturb things. And goal and assist in the opening period, and a really nice goal in that breakaway.
Yeah, a really nice play. And as you mentioned, a goal and an assist on the 4 goals that Team Blue had in that first period. A big kid. He's got a lot of good pedigree. Is actually used to work for his uncle and worked with his dad at the Serdachny Hockey School. His older cousin Danielle Serdachny scored the game-winning goal at the World Championships for Team Canada last year. His sister's at UConn playing in the NCAA as well. So he's showed really well here in the first period. He was very impressive.
Yeah, and he had a brother that played in Salmon Arm with the Silverbacks too, and was off in college hockey as well. So a long line of Serdachnys that are very, very accomplished in hockey. But, you look to that first period and you look towards the second, Tyler, what are some of the things that you want to see here? Team White, I thought maybe got a little bit of pressure as the period went along, so we'll see if maybe that can continue in the second frame.
Yeah, White's got to get their forecheck going there, and you can see in the latter half of that first period when they were able to get some sustained zone time, the defensemen were aggressive at the offensive blue line and were able to pinch down and stop that transition game of Team Blue. 3 of the 4 goals that Blue scored in that first period were off the transition and odd man rushes and quick little plays in the neutral zone. So White's got to get a little bit better at tracking back into their zone, shutting down time and space of Team Blue to not allow the opportunities that they were able to create in the first period, and getting steps on the outside of defensemen and creating those odd man rushes.
We look forward to it. Second period upcoming. For now, we'll take a timeout. We'll come back and get you set up for period 2. Team Blue up 4-0 over Team White on the Blue-White intra-squad game here at Grant Fuhr Arena.
And I wish that I could stop sometimes and watch the lights over the freeway. Don't know what I'm running from, waiting for the time that never comes, when it's never gonna be enough. I say I'm done, I don't wanna wait no more. That's not what these days are for. I don't wanna wake up one day and realize I missed out on right now. No, I'm not gonna wait no more. Time that never comes, when it's never gonna be enough. I say I'm done. Can't imagine what it feels to be so alone. Can you tell what it's like to open the door to a world
Dry bones rattling a lonely soul, slipped and fell into a deep black hole. I can tell you're lost, I'm here for you. Wildfires burning you down to stone, blind eyes turning from a world so cold, a million miles apart within my reach. It's not like me,
Welcome back inside of Grand Fear Arena here in Spruce Grove. Trevor Miller, Tyler Woke here with you. And I don't know what gets you set up for hockey better than a little Sega and Turn Me Loose. But 4-0 our score here for Team Blue after a period, Tyler. And teams will switch ends, blue right to left, white left to right on your computer screens. And Team White looking to try and make their way back into this hockey game. I'm sure some choice words coming from Brandon Switzer, who's behind the bench for Team White in this game.
Yeah, he just actually looked over at me and kind of chuckled a little bit, as I'm sure he was really happy with the way that first period went. I think for Team White, they're hoping that the ice didn't tilt the other way, because it looked like that for the majority of that first period. Team Blue just transitioning the puck so well and taking advantage of the offensive opportunities that they were able to create. A lot of good chances in and around Maselli, and they were able to capitalize on the opportunities that they did create. And Team White's got to get back into that transition game themselves and be able to move the puck a little bit quicker up the ice and try to catch Blue on that aggressive forecheck, as that was what Blue feasted on in the first period.
We wait for the ice to solidify a little bit and to not have so many puddles. Of course, when you're playing at the beginning of September, it can get a little difficult with that. Weather was hot this weekend, too. It was up around the high 20s, maybe even early 30s, but we're underway here for period number 2, and Team White looking to try to advance their way up ice and get back into this game, as Matheson Mason lost the handle on that and brought back the other way here by Team Blue. A centering pass to the net, Josh Pollock, and a good glove save by Xander Maselli, who was able to keep that one out of the net, and a good stop early on here for Maselli on that early opportunity for Pollock.
Probably his best save of the game so far.
Cole Cronowit back across left wing side, trying to get that to the net was Brody Juck, and brought back the other way here by Team White momentarily. Now they'll find it at center. Ryan Johnstone ahead. Here's a chance for White to the net, and that was just forced wide of the goal. As trying to get to that one was Dylan Ruptash. First time we've seen him have that explosive speed through the middle and trying to find his way to the net. Now Ruptash back with it again as he'll spin and turn it to the net, and that's stopped up by DeCook. So an early start here for Team White as Blue will carry back the other way. Austin Peters ahead to the backhand, drifted just wide by Max Sagan. Steve Kirkpatrick tried to drop that down low. Nice play by Sagan to get it loose. Got it back again, but broken up by Ryan Harvey in the slot, as that was a nice pass by Danilo Garcia, trying to give it back for Sagan in the slot. Now from the blue line, a long shot. That was forced just wide on that try by Oscar Wu. Kirkpatrick back down low into the half board on the left wing point there, as that was brought back to the blue line looking for Mason Cadats, and it's carried back the other way. Grayson Niehaus cuts to the middle, high slot, right circle shot, and DeCook getting a piece of that. Back up right point now. Grayson Myers to the front of the net. That was knocked down, as Myers will get back onto it and drop it back down behind the net. Oscar Wu there for it now for Team Blue. Garcia will leave it ahead on the left side, but Myers did a good job to knock it down before Cadats could get to it. He battled his way out to center, and this puck will go back inside of the Team Blue zone, where Oscar Wu was knocked off stride, and the puck comes loose back in front, where it was played back out to center, and it's Team White that will try to corral. But a nice second effort there by Garcia as he pokes that down inside of the Team White zone, allowing his mates to change. Myers ahead, just over 2 minutes gone here in the second period. Drop pass from Mason, trying to spot his man there on that, but Team Blue took that away and forced it back inside of the Team White end. Wesley Golden off the boards on the left wing side. Back out to center. It's given up, and Ethan Cronowit tried to make his way in. Golden looked like he might have knocked a stick out of his hands, and then knocks down Cronowit for good measure, as well as Team White back in with an opportunity. That went off a stick and out of play on that attempted shot. 17-17 to go here in the second period. Shots now 17-8 in favor of Team Blue, and Wesley Golden getting in the mix there. Remember the Cowichan Valley Capitals last year in the BC Hockey League, a big defender who's not easy to get around.
Yeah, he's a very noticeable large fella out there, standing at still, I think, 6'5", a very big man, and a good opportunity there for Malfeld for Team White to try to get on the board, but a good defensive play on the backtrack, as Team White's been able to open up a couple more of those little odd man rush opportunities in zone. And that's what they got to continue to do as they try to get back in this one.
Josh Polak back down low in the left wing corner. Good collision there as that puck will come back along the left boards and to the blue line. A long shot to the net. Maselli the save on the try by Matthew Lessick, and waiting in the neutral zone was Zach Lozier to try and spring himself on a break, but had the puck just go over his stick. Lessick back to the blue line. Adam Lang back at the right point. Lost the handle on that, so Lessick will get back to it, turning away from pressure here in the right wing corner and try to get that puck ahead. Picked off as Lozier with a shot from the slot that was knocked down by DeCook. Team Blue trying to make their way out. So Team White's had a couple of opportunities now in this period to try and get themselves on the board better than they had in the opening frame as that puck goes off the stick of Serdaktian up and out of play. 16:20 to go here in the second period. 4-0. The score remains in favor of Team Blue.
White's starting to get their feet moving a little bit more, and they've been able to create those opportunities in zone time, like I said, from their defensemen being aggressive at the offensive blue line, pinching down, keeping plays alive. We saw Myers do it a couple shifts ago, and then right there, just a good backtrack by the first two forwards that were in on the forecheck to backtrack and take away possession and allow White to reset their forechecking pressure.
Team Blue back in. There's a centering pass from Cole Cronowit that was knocked away at the front of the goal. That by Tegan Mudryk, and attempting to go to Peters looking for his hat-trick marker. Puck down below the goal line now. Kirkpatrick centers a shot. That's stopped by Maselli. Good look there for Cadets to come in from the blue line, but Maselli the save. Now Peters in front to the backhand. Just had it forced up and over the goal as Ruptash will take that away, and Owen Lekelt gets that ahead to center. Left it along there, and a long shot in from the neutral zone that was knocked down. That was Harvey that put that one on. Team Blue trying to force their way back up ice. Battle for the puck inside the blue line now as Blue will get the handle on it. Brought ahead through center. Could be an on-man rush as they hurry. Sagan back in front. Here's Peters. He scores. Hat-trick goal for Austin Peters. And Team Blue leads 5-0.
Great pass by Sagan, who kind of exposes the triangle of the defender on the 2-on-1, and then Peters, just a nifty set of hands, again goes 5-hole on Maselli, kind of catches it on the forehand, goes to the backhand quick, and then just pulls it in behind his body and zips one 5-hole on the forehand as Peters now up to 3 goals. He's got 3 of the 5 for Team Blue, and just as Team White was starting to kind of get a little bit more traction in this game, Peters makes it 5-0 on his hat-trick goal.
It's happened a couple of times now. Team White had a similar thing in the opening period where it was a 2-0 game, and they had an opportunity, and then Team Blue came back and scored. And same thing now as Austin Peters finds the back of the net on a great feed from Max Sagan that gives Team Blue the 5-0 lead. Puck back along the left wing side and spun back down low by Grayson Niehaus as that puck will come back behind that. We got a penalty coming up here, though, and I think it's going to be Team Blue that's going to be called. It's interference is the call, and a power play upcoming here. Nobody knows who the penalty is on.
It was on DeCook, actually.
Oh, it was on the goalie. Well, that's always fun.
Not often do you see a goalie getting a penalty in an inter-squad game, but got a little overzealous on the forechecker coming in from the into behind the net. And
I personally think that goalies should have to serve their own penalties.
Believe it or not, back in the day, we were playing, I think it was like first year Pee Wee, and the game ended up turning into a bit of a gong show, and I think there was maybe like 3 or 4 extra bodies on the on our bench, and our coach ended up taking a bench minor who's also a cousin of mine, and he says to the ref, "Okay, well, we're sending our backup goalie to serve the bench minor." That didn't fly.
I just think it would be entertaining. You know, you got the goalie trying to come off and out of the penalty box on the fly, and he has to go back to the bench, and then you could change your goalies out again. I think it would be very entertaining.
That would be an interesting flair.
That would be like the XFL version of what hockey would be, I think. Team White starting on their first power play of this game. Matheson Mason left it there. Barnes lost the handle at center, and Team Blue comes away shorthanded. Here's Polak working and centering for Cronowit, who got taken into the net, and he takes the net off its pegs. And we'll have a stoppage here with 14:18 to go in the second period. 1:20 remaining here in power play time, and a good look there and a great pass by Polak to find Cronowit in the first place, going hard to the net, but just couldn't get an ace shot away. And, you know, the numbers aren't great for Xander Maselli right now, 16 for 21, but he's had to make some pretty good stops in this game.
Yeah, in this second period especially, he's made 2 or 3 really big saves to try to keep his team within the hockey game right now, and he's looked a little bit sharper and has kind of settled in a little bit more. But you look at the goals that have gone in. It's odd man rushes, it's forwards beating the defenseman to the front of the net, and really tough saves for him to make, especially when you got a guy like Peters getting 2 partial breakaways and basically a wide open opportunity to short side to roof one on him.
Ruptash down low, finds the handle back behind the net as it's pushed back along here by Team White. They try to work in the final 50 seconds of this power play. Stopped up left point, spun down low now by Tegan Mudryk. Back along with it now, Team White, as they'll try to get some momentum here. Mudryk, midpoint. Fed along for Harvey. Now back along left wing side. Ruptash turning away in the left half board. Midpoint feed now. It'll be Harvey that will take it over. High slot shot. That put to the net to Cook. The right pad save. Making the stop there on Ryan Johnstone. Back with it now. It's pushed along to the right circle there for Team White as that was Ruptash trying to find his man. And a big hit into the bench as a big collision there. And that gets bodies going. Tegan Mudryk sends his man into the bench, and now he's tied up right in front of his own bench as he collided there with Ashton Hutchinson and forced him right over the boards. That's not something you see very often in an intra-squad game, but certainly a way to make a name for yourself. What a hit by Mudryk.
Yeah, big hit by Mudryk, and Hutchinson ended up in the bench and was kind of laughing with the guys. That's the first time I've seen that happen up close and personal in all the years of being down low here, but a big hit, and then Cole Serdachny, who's got a goal and an assist, steps in for his teammate and gets into the grill of Mudryk. A big hit, one of the biggest ones we've seen so far in this game. Hasn't been overly physical by any stretch, but that one definitely takes the cake so far.
I'm sure that'll be the last time that Hutchinson hears about that throughout the course of the year.
Yeah, no one's ever
sure
gonna
guys
bring
aren't
that
going
up.
to chirp him about that throughout the course of the season. 13-11 to go. Coincidental penalties to Mudryk and to Serdachny after getting into a little fracas after the big hit by Mudryk. Clean hit, too. He just caught him, and he was able to knock him down. So 10 seconds remains in this Team White power play, and then Team Blue will fire this all the way down ice. So Maselli out to take this puck. Likely in the final 3+ minutes of his game with the goaltender switch, I would imagine, impending. Puck back out at center and carried ahead on the left wing side here by Team Blue. We're back to 5-on-5. Drop back along to the right wing corner, and that pass comes back to the blue line. Gabriel Kenny just couldn't hang on to that, so he'll go all the way back inside of his own zone for that. Talk about Josh Pollock from Shawnigan Lake School, as is Kenny from playing last season and got into some games with the Saints last year as well, as this battle for the puck will come loose here for Team Blue as they try to get their way ahead. Forcing along with that is Kirkpatrick on the left side, threw it toward the front of the net, and getting on top of that puck is Maselli. He's able to find the handle on it and hang on for 12:22 to go here in the second period. 21-11 the shots for Team Blue have a commanding 5-0 lead so far in this intra-squad matchup.
White unable to really do too much on that power play, just the one shot on goal, their first chance of the hockey game. Unable to break the goose egg for DeCook, who, as you mentioned, probably has about another 3 minutes left in this game before his night is over, as I'm guessing that him and Maselli will both be relieved for the remainder of the hockey game.
Face-off that will come back inside of the Team White end. You would think so. I did not have a chance to get that information pre-game, but I believe that that's what the plan would be, as this puck is back at the blue line and brought back in illegally, so that's an offside as Oscar Wu just had to take that outside the blue line and then tried to come back in with that. So another face-off that will come just outside of the Team White blue line. Again, pretty good crowd filtered in for the fact that it's an inter-squad game on a Tuesday night in September. Of course, the Saints aren't home for a preseason game until next Wednesday. There's a chance in front. Nice save, Maselli. The rebound scores right in front. Popped in by Alexi Lachane, and it's a 6-0 Team Blue lead. Quick passing from Austin Peters and Max Sagan, and it's Lachane that cleans up the garbage in front.
Yeah, that line's had 4 of the 6 goals for Team Blue, and excellent zone entry, and Maselli made a great save on the short side as well earlier on in that play, and then unfortunately that rebound squirts out to his glove hand side as Lachane was able to pot that one home to make it a 6-0 lead now in favor of Team Blue.
So we'll see if Team White has an answer for that. 6-0 Team Blue, and a good job in front by Lachine is able to make the opportunity there as he was able to bank it in from the top of the crease, and that puck put off a stick and out of play. So 11:49 to go here in the second period, and the faceoff will come back inside of the Team Blue zone here. And this is going to be a comfy confines here for the Saints to begin the year, Tyler, because I believe it's 7 of their first 9 games in the regular season are here at home.
Yeah, hopefully a recipe that allows the Saints to get off to a good start and start feeling good before you got to spend a little bit more time on the road and getting used to playing in new buildings and getting used to the travel and the way the schedule's set up for the upcoming season.
Yeah, the first big trip that this team will take place will be for the BCHL Showcase in Chilliwack. That's coming up just after Canadian Thanksgiving. And then after that, we'll have to find some pretty good bus routines because it is long, long hauls for some trips out to the interior of BC and then, of course, into the Kootenays to play Trail and Cranbrook as well. Puck loose on the right wing side. Now put to the right circle and a shot on to Cook. Makes a strong save there on that attempt toward the front of the net by Jack Molfeld, who's been one of the more noticeable players for Team White so far in this game.
Hey, he's had a couple of pretty good offensive opportunities, especially in this second period, and that one he's able to actually get on the net of the Cook, and a good quick release from the high slot area, and a good save by DeCook, who's only had to make 12 saves so far in nearly through the first half of this game. And again, we'll probably see him leave the net in about 1 minute and 23 seconds, as I'm guessing the goalies are probably going to be splitting up here so that nobody's getting a full game and the goalies need to ride the pine for a full 60.
Molfeld from the hockey hotbed of Whitefish, Montana, as that shot comes through the high slot, and a shot that was just forced wide. Johnstone put it on and had that one just irked wide before it could get to the front of the net. Back behind the goals, DeCook looks over his right with 9 minutes gone here in this period. Back to the blind. Myers, left side, put to the net. Another save by DeCook is back on the puck in the right circle to the goal off the crossbar. A good shot from the right wing by Colin Doherty, and just couldn't find his way past DeCook, although it did, but it couldn't get past the iron. Lang at the blue line. Right wing side, Johnstone got the pass back again as here's Team White with a heavy dose of pressure now trying to get on the board. High slot. Dropping that back on the backhand. Myers to the net. Sprung that one just wide as that will come loose on the right wing and cleared up the boards, and a chance for Team Blue. Partial break, but a good defensive play. Adam Perron got back and took that puck off of Steve Kirkpatrick's stick and carried back along now by Ruptash left wing. Carries through the slot, right circle shot off a stick up, and looked like it went out of play, but we'll play on here as this puck comes back to the left point. Dragging to the middle now, it's Brett Barnes on the right wing side who tries to hold this on his backhand. Forced it loose to the side of the goal, and bouncing puck now will be corralled here by Team Blue on their own end. It's Lachine who will get that up the boards here for Kirkpatrick, who advanced that back out to center. Carried up the boards on the right side. That pass by Devin Boyle could be found here by Perron, trying to drive his way in after just making a strong defensive play on Kirkpatrick on that breakaway opportunity. Now it's brought ahead by Austin Peters, who's got himself a 3-goal game and a hat trick here for Team Blue in this one. Bouncing puck now will come loose, and on the left wing side, it's Team White back in. A centering pass to the side of the goal, and DeCook had to go from left to right to track that, but the puck never went on. From the blue line, Golden a shot. That went wide. Side of the goal, Doherty tried to throw that one on as it's wrapped around the boards on the right side. Golden absorbs the check from Kirkpatrick as the puck goes out of play. 9:09 to go in the second period. We'll get our goaltender switch as we anticipated. So going in the net for Team White will be Joseph Cantilio, who will go in after playing last season with HC Edmonton in the 18U program. And it will be Anton Palmquist who will go in net for Team Blue. Palmquist, the member of the Okanagan HC 17U team last season. Big goaltender from Sweden. I believe measuring in at 6'7" is Palmquist. As we get a timeout here in the second period, Tyler, and an opportunity now to see a couple of different goaltenders. We'll see if that changes the fortunes, although Team White, some pretty good pressure before this timeout.
Yeah, they had a couple good shifts. And you know what, as this game has gone on, when you look at it, they haven't really given up a whole bunch in the last, say, 20 minutes of gameplay. That first 10 minutes was a little bit of a buzzkill, and Team Blue was really able to take charge. But they're starting to get their feet moving. The forecheck's been a lot better. There's been a lot better backtracking. We saw in the last shift there an excellent job by Perron on the backtrack on Hutchinson, using that big long reach. Looked like Hutchinson had a step on him, but Perron kept his skates moving and kind of went all the way around and made a great play with his stick defensively. And just a touch on Mulfeld. We've had a lot of guys here in Spruce Grove that I'm jealous of where they grow up, and I think Mulfeld, that might be one of the most jealous places that I can think of. Whitefish, one of the most beautiful places in the world, and that's well before all of the Yellowstone lore that really made people recognize how beautiful Montana is. You can do a lot of different activities, and I don't know if I ever would have been a hockey player if I grew up there.
Well, it's carving a new path, is Jack Mulfeld, and obviously it's not a short trek from Montana up to Spruce Grove, but a decent one at that. And
beautiful drive.
Yeah, definitely. One of the very, very gorgeous. And a shot from the left side there to kick things off here in the second half of this game from Zach Lozier. The first save for Anton Palmquist, the big netminder from Uppsala, Sweden. I probably am not saying that correctly, but a Swedish native is Palmquist. As this battle for the puck in the right wing corner, we'll see it come to the middle now. Matheson Mason trying to force his way ahead. From a less intelligent name of Toronto, Ontario, as Mason back with the puck on the left side. Comes to the blue line now, a long shot. That went off a stick and into the right wing corner there, where it's worked back around the boards by Team Blue. As we have 8:28 remaining here in this second period. 6-0 the lead for Team Blue, but Team White back onto it. Here's Adam Lang, midpoint, holds and shoots, and tried to get that through traffic as it was just forced wide. Back along with it now, Team White. Mason, side of the net, put to the goal, and Palmquist, who doesn't have to do much to get his big frame on that. It's almost like he's standing in the net, even when he's on his knees, able to make that save at the side of the goal on Lozier, as Team White continues to bring the pressure here in the second period.
Yeah, that's a big dude there in net, and so many of these Swedish goalies, very large in stature, and man, oh man, when he comes out and cuts down the angle, there is absolutely zero space to find in the back of the net. And based on my quick Google search, I think you're bang on with the pronunciation of Uppsala, Sweden.
Well, that's awesome. Well, we got one thing right in this broadcast, at least. We won't count about the numerous others that we didn't. Back down low is Sagan, pushed across to the left point. Team Blue continuing in the offensive zone. Shot to the net. That went off a body, as that was put to the goal by Kirkpatrick and could never get there. Sent along in a pass by Johnstone, left wing side. Doherty stopping up their left half board. Trying to drop it back down low. This one comes back around right side, and it is taken over here by Team Blue as they try to extract their way out of their own end, and they will now. Carried ahead, up the right side. A drop pass there by Juck, the defender, as he'll work into the corner now. Sagan, high slot, a shot kicked out by the left pad of Quintilio, and a good save there in his first of this hockey game. Back along left wing side now, it's Juck. High slot, a hard pass. Kirkpatrick scores. What a shot from the top of the right circle. Steve Kirkpatrick goes up and over the glove side of Joseph Quintilio, and it's 7-0 for Team Blue on the quick snapshot by Kirkpatrick.
Couple great looks for Kirkpatrick on that shift, and the first one, Quintilio got the better of him, kicking out the pad, making a big save, and then on that opportunity right in the high slot, had a lot of time, but didn't take the time to dust the puck off. A good quick release and beats Quintilio to make it a 7-0 hockey game with 7:10 to go here in the second period.
8 goals in 17 games last year for Kirkpatrick in the BC Hockey League, and he is certainly able to find the back of the net and was one of the leading scorers for this team in the transition over to the BCHL last year with his 14 points, and certainly showed that there with that quick snapshot to get up and over the glove side. So Team Blue, the 7-0 lead, and getting back onto that, a save made by Anton Palmquist. This looking like a score that we might see in the first quarter on Thursday night, with football getting back in action from the NFL ranks.
Oh, I'm excited.
Yeah, you got a lot of things going on when it comes to the football season.
Yeah, we cut the fantasy leagues in half this year, so that's always a good thing. So I'm only donating half of the amount of money that I usually do. I got one draft done, and actually usually, as many of the people listening or watching that I've watched in past years, it always seems that the one big draft that I'm in is always on the night of the blue-white game. So last year I actually did the draft from between the benches and had a couple of the couple of the guys keeping an eye on what I was doing, and some guys were pretty impressed with what I did. I ended up getting second in that league.
Wow.
Unfortunately, didn't win at all, but you can't win every year. So I think I've won that one 3 out of 5 years, which is good. The guys that I beat have a lot more money than I do, so it doesn't make me feel too guilty about it.
Yeah, we'll go the other way around.
Yeah, and the fact that I get to keep a Lombardi trophy for a year, which is always fun.
Back in on the right side. Mulfeld stop, rebound, scores. Team White cashes in on a delayed penalty, and they have their first goal of this game as it was Jack Mulfeld who put it toward the front of the net. The right pad save was made by Palmquist, but the rebound put home, and it's Team White who's on the board for the first time in this game, and it's Owen Lekelt that makes it 7-1.
Great job by Lekelt to just drive straight towards the far post. Mulfeld recognizes that he's got a man driving that far post, and an excellent pass off the pad. The right-handed shot from the outside takes that quick shot right off the right pad of Palmquist. He couldn't react fast enough, and an excellent job by Lekelt to find that loose puck and bury that one for the first goal of the game for Team White to make it 7-1.
Back in now is Team Blue. Kiefer Miller sends it in front. What a stop. Quintilio with the left pad. What a move that was by Miller to go forehand, backhand, trying to spot Ethan Kronowit on the glove side, and Quintilio came across and made a heck of a left pad save.
Those long limbs getting in the way, and a great save by Quintilio after he gave up a goal on the last shot that he faced, but an excellent left toe save to keep it a 7-1 game.
Kronowit tried a quick shot from the right face-off circle, couldn't get it toward the net on the pass from Kirkpatrick, and Team White back in. Here's Ruptas, drop pass, left wing circle to the net, and a quick shot glove save made by Palmquist on that try from Matheson Mason. So 5:09 to go in the second period. Owen Lekelt has Team White on the board, and it has this a 7-1 game.
Yeah, so important when you're on those odd man rushes, and especially when you're facing a goaltender the size of Palmquist, you're very rarely going to score on that initial opportunity. So never a bad idea to look for that pass off the pad, and excellent recognition by Mulfeld as well as Lekelt to drive towards that open space, knowing that puck's eventually going to squirt out to you, and it's a quick bang play. So very good reaction by Lekelt to bury the first one for Team White as they try to push back and get at least a little bit of a comeback roll in here before the end of the second period.
Seen that a couple times so far tonight, that shot pass off the pads, and it's been very effective as back in is Team White looking for another opportunity. That backhander just slid wide with Johnstone going to the side of the net on the opportunity that came just off the stick of Teo Pisani as this is back the other way for Team Blue. Chipped ahead right on Quintilio. Will bank it off the boards on the left side. Pisani will get to that and will make a move to the middle now as he will work his way into the offensive zone. Pisani high slot. Had a lot of time there, so he decided to take a shot, but some sticks getting in the way of that. And that puck forced up and out of play. 4:12 to go, second period. 7-1 the score for Team Blue. Again, the exhibition season kicking off Saturday in Brooks, as well the game for you on the Saints radio network before Spruce Grove coming back home for the first time for an exhibition game next Wednesday against Blackfalds. Puck down to the right wing corner now. Team Blue will get the handle on it. Cole Serdachny trying to push that ahead through center now as coming in with speed, Matthew Lessick. Nice move to get to the net. A stop by Quintilio. Rebound high slot. Holding is Hutchison. Will throw it back up to the blue line. Controlling that there is Cadats, who tried to get it back in front of, was knocked down before Serdachny got it back again. It's Polak's side of the goal, pushing to the net. That's denied. And a rebound comes loose below the goal line where Boyle will get to it. Slides it up the boards. Held on side by Lessick. Sends it back in, down below the goal line. Lang tied up there with Polak, and coming out with the puck is Hutchinson. He tried to make a move to the middle. That was broken up, and Niehaus will get it across for Boyle. A big collision there as Devin Boyle coming together with Ashton Hutchinson. And it's carried back down inside of the offensive zone here by Team Blue to the net. Polak and a left pad save by Quintilio. Perron on the right wing side. Left that one along now for Lang, who will survey his options from inside of his own zone. 3:05 to go in this second period. Chipped up ahead on the boards on the right side as Mulfeld will get it back inside of the offensive zone. Puck up the boards on the right wing side for Team Blue, and it is Austin Peters who tried to work it across on the right side. Peters gets it back again, chips it along the boards on the right side. A centering pass, Cole Cronowit in front, and Kirkpatrick to the net, but Quintilio, who's been busy ever since he's come into the hockey game, able to make that save with 2:48 to go in the second and a 7-1 game.
Yeah, another good save, and Kirkpatrick gets set up in front by Cole Cronowit. An excellent job by Cronowit to find a little bit of space on the backhand to get that pass to Kirkpatrick from below the goal line to above the goal line, and Quintilio had to track that one really well. Kirkpatrick maybe didn't get all that he wanted on it, but another real good save by Quintilio.
Here's Peters back in the left wing corner. Kirkpatrick back for Peters again. Left wing side now put to the net, and a hot shot up and over the goal by Gabriel Kenny. Fired back behind the goal. Here's Kirkpatrick with it now. Along for Peters. 4 goals between the two of them in this hockey game, as Peters will get the handle here, right circle across left side. Kirkpatrick just couldn't get himself in a shooting area. Sends it back around left wing corner here for Juck. Juck trying to turn away from pressure. Juck tied up against the sideboards there, spending time with the Lloydminster Bobcats last year. Now it's Owen Lekelt at center who will get ahead with this. Lekelt, high slot. Moving in now is Molfeld. Back down low for Lekelt. Tried to sauce a pass back to the left circle. Team Blue took advantage of that, and they'll turn it back the other way. Chipped ahead on the right side. Kirkpatrick into the right circle now for Ethan Cronowit. Cronowit tying up there. Kirkpatrick centered through the slot. No one there. Wu with the left point with it now. Right side, quick shot off a stick and out of play, as that was put toward the front of the net. That by the defender in the way for Team Blue. I'm not sure who that is, who 15 Blue is. Nope, sorry, that was Kiefer Miller. He lost his name bar, which are just, of course, stuck on there with Velcro. So obviously when you're playing a game, it's difficult to keep that one on the whole time. But Miller trying to look for that puck back in front after Alexi Lachane just lost the handle below the goal line. Here's Lozier left point. Long shot to the line, knocked down. Miller toward the front of the net will gather it now. Miller right wing corner, back up top now, put to the net, and Quintilio the save, he'll hang on. These games might be the hardest for us broadcasters, Tyler, because, you know, coming in, you've got a little bit of experience with the team. Of course, I don't, so I'm going off of a first read on some of these guys. But these games are always interesting to see the level of intensity. It's been intense out there despite what the score might read.
Yeah, you know what? The one thing I'm a little bit surprised with is the physicality. Maybe not the same as what I've seen in the past, but you know, sometimes it's the, you know, training camp is pretty grueling and guys are, you know, a little bit tired, and again, it's kind of at that point where you don't want to get injured so that you're unable to not only play in the preseason but start the season off healthy. And I know there's a couple guys last year, you know, one guy that comes to mind is Matt Lessick, a guy that got injured very early on in the preseason and wasn't able to be a contributing member until well into the calendar year of 2024, and, you know, lost a lot of his development time because of that. And, you know, so sometimes it's just a matter of, you know, getting through it unscathed and, you know, getting in your spots, learning how to play the systems properly. And, you know, especially with the roster turnover that there has been this year, there's a lot of new faces, a lot of new guys out there. And, you know, everybody kind of getting used to the way that the Saints are going to want to play this year. So sometimes it kind of weeds itself out, and then it's just a couple bounces that are the difference in these games. But Team Blue definitely, you know, looking the more crisp in terms of the execution so far through this hockey game.
Yeah, 21 seconds to go here in this second period, and difference as well in the fact that there aren't as many exhibition games as what you're used to. There's only 4 to get you set up for the regular season. I know in past, obviously in previous experiences, it's been 6, sometimes 8 games in the preseason. But this year, only 4 games to get yourself tuned up and ready to go. The high slot, a shot toward the front of the net. Quintilio the save on that try from the right circle by Ashton Hutchinson. Good look there, but another good save by Quintilio. Shots are 32-21 here for Team Blue so far in this game, and they've got the big lead here of 7-1 so far.
Yeah, Quintilio's looked very comfortable, and, you know, one of the big reads on how comfortable a goalie is in these types of situations is just the rebounds, and his rebound control has been really good so far. He's getting to the top of the paint. Another big dude. I think he's 6'3" or 6'4", I believe. This might be the 2 tallest goalies I've ever seen in Spruce Grove Saints jerseys, and and that sort of thing, which is always a unique thing. And I know as a shooter, it's always so intimidating when you look down and you pick your head up as you're about to pick your spot, and all you see is just a 6'4" mammoth of a human being in the way of what you're trying to do. But Quintilio looked very sharp, and Palmquist, the only goal he gave up was that rebound on that excellent pass off the pad by Malfeld.
So 7-1 the score in favor of Team Blue after 40 minutes of play here from Spruce Grove. So Team Blue adding 3 goals in that second period. Team White getting one off the stick of Owen LeKelt and find themselves ahead by a 7-1 score does Team Blue. And Tyler, Team White got a little bit more into it in that second period, a little bit more into the game. And again, we saw 4 goals in the first period. We see 4 goals in the second. This one split up a little bit more, but find their way to a 7-1 Team Blue lead. Still Blue in heavy control, and of course highlighted by Austin Peters and what he's done so far with his hat trick.
Yeah, he's been dynamic. He's been everywhere. Obviously, as you mentioned, 3 goals, 1 assist. He's been on the ice for 4 of the 7 goals that Team Blue have scored so far in the game. He's been very, very noticeable, and I think a guy that's anytime when you're a guy that's a goal scorer, an offensive player, anytime that you can get into that groove, even though it is the preseason, that always feels good, and you have kind of that instant confidence to hit the ground running. So very exciting for Austin Peters, and I've definitely been really impressed with what I've seen so far from him.
Yeah, it's been a good game so far for Peters, been a good game so far for Team Blue. 7-1, they have the lead over Team White. We'll take a timeout, come back for period 3 here from the Grant Fuhr Arena. One more period of this intra-squad game to come, and we'll have it coming your way in a matter of moments as we are broadcasting live the Blue-White game here from Grant Fuhr Arena.
chill. All the spot in your eyes burn a hole right through me, and it's one I'll never feel. I'd be dead and gone if looks could kill. If looks could kill. Yeah, the lamp lights fading through the window pane like a memory of a time. And the dark road ahead looks a little bit brighter when you're running for your life. All the spot in your eyes burn a hole right through me, and it's one I never feel. Yeah, I'd be dead and gone if looks could kill. If looks could kill. I've seen that look somewhere before. In the mirror hanging on the door. You finally saw what I've always seen. The dirt I got all over me. How the days run away like a wild horse tumbling over the hills. And the night drop around me like a too thin blanket down won't keep out the chill. All the spot in your eyes burn a hole right through me, and it's one I'll never feel. Yeah, I'd be dead and gone if looks could kill. If looks could kill. All the days run away like a wild horse is. And the night wraps around me like a too thin blanket. And the lamp lights fading through the window pane. And the dark road ahead looks a little bit brighter. Oh, Johnny wishes he was famous. Spends his time alone in the basement with a Lennon and Cobain and a guitar and a stereo. And well, he wishes he could escape this, but it all seems so contagious. Not to be yourself and faceless in a song that has no soul. I remember feeling low, and I remember losing hope, and I remember all the feelings in the day they stopped. We are all innocent. We are all innocent. We are all innocent.
Welcome back inside of the Grant Fuhr Arena here in Spruce Grove. Trevor Miller, Tyler Wolk with you here. Third period action upcoming. 7-1. Team Blue has the lead in the Blue-White Intra-Squad game. Tyler, we'll see if Team White can make their way back into this one, but should be set for a competitive third period nonetheless.
Yeah, hopefully White's able to get a couple more offensive opportunities. They were able to close the gap on the shot total, but still got outshot 17-16 in that second period.
It's a lot of shots.
A lot of shots, yeah. It's been a fairly wide open game, and Team Blue has been able to take advantage of their opportunities and really burying the chances that they have created.
So third period underway, and we have a stoppage because of a hand pass. So 26 seconds into the festivities here in the third period, and a face-off that will come back inside of the Team White zone. Of course, the goaltenders in this game now, after Ryan DeCook started for Team Blue, for Team White, it was Xander Michelli. So now for Team Blue is Antoine Palmquist and Joseph Quintilio in net for Team White. Always tough as a goaltender, even when you know you're coming in halfway through the game. I can imagine it's still tough to come off the bench and try to perform, but both of them have done pretty well so far.
Yeah, when you haven't seen any live action or haven't really moved around, and you maybe you go down the tunnel and get a little stretch in and that sort of thing, but you haven't really been a part of facing any rubber for probably about 60 to 70 minutes of real time. Not an easy position to be in, that's for sure. That's when you want to have one or two kind of soft shots thrown towards you, feel it, and get your feet underneath you.
Puck back in the right wing corner now. Teo Pisani will get the handle on it. Back behind the goal now comes loose. Right wing circle. Put down below the goal line now. Dylan Ruptash with it. Ruptash working up top right point. Drops it down low right circle to the net. That was knocked down in front. Grayson Niehaus will get this behind the goal. Put to the front of the net. And Teo Pisani puts it home. Team White a quick one. Early part of this third period, just a minute and 21 seconds in. It's Teo Pisani in front to make it a 7-2 game.
Nice finish from Pisani in front of the net. Gets a great pass from behind the net from Grayson Niehaus and just snaps that one home short side right around just over the blocker of Palmquist, who had made a couple big saves earlier on, fought off some traffic, but in my opinion, one of the hardest saves for a goalie to make. That pass that comes from below the goal line to above the goal line, and trying to track that puck and get your feet set and get your angle set is such a difficult thing, especially when you got a shooter like Teo Pisani, who's got a great quick release as he snaps that one home, and it makes a 7-2 game as White tries to forge a late third period comeback here.
So a face-off that will come to the glove side of the goal of Quintilio, and a quick shot just wide off the hop on that shot that came from the high slot there by Kiefer Miller. Now back behind the goal, a centering pass that knocked away. Ethan Kronowit tried to put that puck in front. Around the boards in the left wing point, and that will come back out towards center where it is knocked down, and they will get a face-off with 18-13 to go in the third period. Again, this a bit of a tune-up for Saturday, where the Saints will be in Brooks to take on the Bandits. We'll have that for you on the Saints Radio Network. Hockey back in full swing. I think Labor Day weekend's kind of one of those last weekends you can enjoy and get away, because after that, pretty well every weekend's full until about the end of May.
100%. Get those last swings in. Maybe try to get one more round of golf in. Maybe try to milk that. That'd be nice, especially with the way the weather's supposed to be, especially this weekend. But I have to maybe talk to Drayson about getting the red carpet rolled out for you in Brooks and make sure there's a real welcome for Trevor Miller.
I don't think we need warm welcomes anywhere, to be completely honest. I've worked with too many teams for that to happen. Shot just went up and over the goal from the left wing side there on a good try by Ashton Hutchinson, and this will come back inside of Team Blue territory, where it's Gabriel Kenny to work that puck up the boards. Nicely knocked down by Tegan Mudryk in the neutral zone. So Kenny on a secondary effort now will lift that ahead. Mudryk knocked it down as well, but did so with the stick above his shoulders. So that will be knocked down, and that will be stopped because of the high sticking. So a face-off that will come back to neutralize. 17-18 to go third period. 7-2, Team Blue with the lead.
Are you a big NFL fan?
I've tended to be in the past. Yeah, actually just finished up a fantasy draft last night. I did it, and Yahoo told me that I didn't do very well. So
well,
that goes to show you,
it's
the D+ grade on the draft is not overly great.
yeah.
but
You know what? I've been there before, and the issue with that is that it's based all on the average draft position of everybody that does a Yahoo draft, right? So you have a lot of people that aren't educated, or they're like, oh, I know who this guy is, I'm gonna pick him, or he's from the team that I like, so I'm gonna pick him, and all of a sudden, yeah, you start making some good picks, and you get a grade that you're really disappointed with, or you'd be maybe, when I was in school, I'd be happy with a D+ sometimes, but
that's why we're in broadcasting
yeah,
now, is because we finished with D+.
Yeah, exactly. But that's the thing, is sometimes those grades are very very misleading. And I think last year in the draft that I did do really well, and I think I got a C- or something like that. And I was like, no, I like the team that I have. And
Puck back in front, and a quick chance toward the front of the goal. Quintilio did a good job to knock that one down, and makes me feel a little bit better now that the experts, or so-called experts,
well,
are wrong.
Yeah, exactly. Who's your team?
In the past, I've gone for Seattle. I think that's kind of the way. That's just that kind of West Coast BC pick to have, but I don't love the year I think they're going to have. So that might be a little bit
of a
tough
bandwagon
one.
Jumper then?
I'm not. No, I stick to Seattle, but it's always entertaining. I mean, the NFL's got a way of entertaining you in ways that some other sports can't. So it's one of the biggest ones, at least from the North American side of things. It's always entertaining to watch on Sundays or whatever day they've commandeered now. I think they've got a game on every day of the week now this year.
Yeah, they got the Thursday night games on Amazon.
There's a Friday night game?
I think they stay away from Fridays other than Black Friday, which
Week
Amazon
1 they've got one. They've got one in Brazil on
Yeah, they're
Friday
doing
night.
the whole thing this
whole
season is the
thing,
first time. And then they have the Saturday games after Christmas, or right around Christmas.
I think it's
So,
right
yeah,
after the New Year, yeah.
But they like to stay away from the college football, and then obviously Friday nights with high school football down in the States and that sort of thing. And
It's a popular sport.
College football is a whole other thing. Like, I mean, you can literally, if you really were able to, I guess we'll say, you could sit on your couch from Saturday morning at, I like European football, so I'll watch the English Premier League at, 6 a.m. on a Saturday, and then by 10 a.m. the NCAA football games are kicking off, and you can watch football all day Saturday, and then Sunday morning mix in a little F1, little Premier League, and then right into the red zone.
Tell my wife those plans, and I'm sure that would go over real well.
Yeah, I know. I hear you.
Matthew Lessick back with a puck behind his net in a 7-2 game here for Team Blue, as this puck will find its way back inside of the blue line, but carried back out through the center here by Blue, and a big collision there, as that was a good hit by Brett Barnes, knocking his man down, and Kiefer Miller, as this puck goes back behind the goal and fought off there behind the net. Joseph Quintilio looking over his right shoulder, as it is Team White that will get the advantage on that and bring the puck ahead out through center, and chip back ahead on the right wing there by Devin Boyle all the way down inside of Team Blue territory. Here's Brody Juck with it now, back behind his net, trying to skirt away from a check as he gets it ahead on the left side, and Cole Serdachny will lead it ahead through center. Josh Polak trying to advance around a check down below the goal line, and Polak tried to force that one back in front before it was taken back the other way here by Team White. They'll work this in deep. That was Adam Perron that was able to force it down low. Oscar Wu left it there for Steve Kirkpatrick, trying to work his way around a check on the left wing side, that of Grayson Myers, but that will go for an offside. So 13:34 to go, third period. What about yourself? You got a team that you like watching there, Tyler?
Yeah, the Minnesota Vikings.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough year. It's going to be a tough year, and I got Jefferson in both of the drafts that I'm in, so that's...
Do you make a conscious decision to draft him? I mean, he's going to get a lot of points, so that's one thing, but obviously the fact that he wears purple probably helps that too.
And that Sam Darnold is going to be throwing him the ball. I really hope that Sam Darnold can maybe channel his inner Brett Favre this year, but I don't know. I have had Jefferson as a keeper. I got him as a rookie, so I got him really late in the first year that he was a rookie, and I've always kept him. He's a top 3 wide receiver. And then in the other draft, I had the 7th pick overall, and he ended up just falling. No, 9th pick overall, and he ended up just falling to me. And I'm like, well, do I take him or a flyer on a running back that might be good, or am I going to pick a guy that's going to probably get 10 to 12 targets a game? So
It's a smart GM right there.
Yeah. And I mean, I got his jersey and I love him. And
Good stop there by Palmquist on that quick shot by Grayson Niehaus, and good pass from inside the blue line. Johnstone was able to find Niehaus, and Grayson Niehaus is an interesting kid because he's someone who battled injuries last year, didn't really get to play a whole lot last year, but has a lot of skill and the talents there for him too.
And he was a guy that started the year in U18 AAA in St. Albert and then joined the team, I think it was right around the beginning of December. And, like you mentioned, had some injuries and just kind of didn't get a footing. But he's a guy that can really explode offensively. He's a good skater. He's got a great shot. He's got to just kind of learn the speed of the junior game and being able to take advantage of those opportunities and how little the time and space is. But he's a guy that can definitely pop offensively, and looking forward to seeing him have a good start to the season as well.
Yeah, he had an interesting year because he signed with Brooks, and he got in with Brooks, and now we've got a bit of a kerfuffle behind the play, getting tied up there.
Barnes and Cole Cronowit.
Yeah, Cole Cronowit getting involved, and the two just got each other tied up at the blue line, so I believe we'll see coincidental penalties coming from the two of them. But, it's interesting because you're in these games and, depending on what player you are, obviously, as a guy like Barnes who, is trying to make a good impression on the Saints coaching staff, or a guy like Cole Cronowit who, that you're more than likely going to be a Saint this season, you want to try and make a good impression right away, and of course that's when tempers can flare and certainly lead to what just happened.
Yeah, exactly. And you're sticking up for yourself, and you don't want to be a shrinking violet out here. And tell you, the one thing that I had a really tough time adjusting to last year was the fact that junior hockey being played with cages. It was just something that really was it was different, and it made the game a lot different. And when the transition happened and the cages came off and the visors were back on, I find that the game just changes, and guys are maybe there's a little bit more accountability, and you have to back up your words and that sort of thing. And that's something I'm looking forward to, and it's a nice change as as these guys progress through their careers and moving on into college hockey and that sort of thing. And it's definitely changes the game. I'll say that for sure.
Adam Lang trying to work his way in. So we play 4-on-4 on the coincidental penalties, so it opens up the ice a little bit. I really like this rule that the BCHL adapted last year of the coincidental penalties, or maybe a couple of years ago, where they take both players off. It's not just going to 5-on-5 after that. They'll play 4-on-4, and very much what an NHL rule book is what they've had set up. As it is Team White that will get set here down below the goal line behind the net. Harvey is centering pass. Good left pad save by Palmquist on that quick shot by Doherty from the left faceoff circle. Polak will push it across. And now back inside of his own zone is Lesick, who will turn back. He'll wait for his mates to change and try and get some open ice ahead of him. His bank pass couldn't connect there with Gabriel Kenny. So Team White will take over. Mason Myers back inside of his own zone, protects the puck neatly and will start ahead on the left side. Try to push it to the middle. That was broken up by Lesick, and now a chance for Team Blue the other way. Down the left wing, here's Kiefer Miller, spins that pass back in front, and no one there in a blue sweater to corral that, as it's Boyle who will leave it back below the goal line. Wesley Golden tried to push it across. Now Boyle back with it again. Slid it out through the middle and a race for it here, as it's Golden who will get to it first and put a backhander on the save. The rebound. Another good stop by Palmquist on the opportunity by Ruptash. Puck comes around back in front of the net there for Team Blue as they'll put it to the goal, and a good glove save by Joseph Quintilio on that shot that came from Miller right in front. But a couple of good saves here from Anton Palmquist in the last couple of moments.
Yeah, both goalies having to make some big saves, and an excellent job by Golden to read that the puck was on the strong side, recognizing it's a 4-on-4 situation. So he just gets on his horse, just misses the original pass on his backhand, but he's able to get there first, throws the puck towards Palmquist. Rebound kind of laying in the slot area. He makes the secondary save, and then on the other side, excellent opportunity for Kiefer Miller on that 3-on-2. He gets that nice little soft catch and release, and a good glove save by Quintilio as Miller was able to get quite a bit of that one, trying to elevate up and over the Saints white netminder.
Pushed across on the right side. That went out of the reach of Niehaus, and that will go right back in, or out of the reach of Mulfeld, and that will go right back in to Palmquist, who's able to make that stop. 10:03 to go here in the third period. Shots 37-27 in favor of Team Blue. You talked a little bit about the Saints' home schedule and how many home games they have to start the year. I think it's great for fans because you have an opportunity now where you get to see some different teams come in, and 3 of the first 4 games for this team. Oh, we're gonna have a media timeout in this period too. That's always interesting. But 3 of the first 4 games that this team will see, you got Penticton on the 20th, and then the following weekend, back-to-back home games against the Trail Smoke Eaters and Salmon Arm Silverbacks. So just more excitement for fans to really get themselves amped up for in teams that you've never seen before.
Yeah, and that's, even from a broadcasting perspective, it's super exciting to be able to see new teams roll in here and just the competition level and what the teams are going to look like and what they're going to bring. And, you see the caliber, and obviously we've always paid attention to what goes on in BC, but to now have those teams coming right into your building and being able to compete, with the Saints and for the fans to be able to come out here and to be able to see that live. I remember, and I've talked so highly of it during that Doyle Cup final when Wenatchee was here. That was some of the best hockey I've ever seen live, at any level. And of course, junior hockey is one of the coolest experiences where, you don't have to pay $200, $300, $400 to sit right along the glass, and the kids, and you have so many more ties and close ties to the team, and to be able to see them compete at such a high level, and as you mentioned, everybody that's going to be rolling through here, I think the excitement is going to really peak, especially on that home opener. Having Penticton come in here, every year the conversation is always, who's better, Penticton or Brooks, or when we're having a good year, would we be able to beat Penticton? And those questions are going to get answered now. And I know even last year when the change did happen and the 5 Alberta teams were competing against each other, every single game there was a different kind of atmosphere and lore around the games and the excitement. And once everything was solved and all the the political jargon was put behind everybody and giving the kids the opportunity to play the game, and now that there's a full season planned, and even the showcase down in Chilliwack that's going to be hosted by the Vancouver Canucks, and just everything that comes with it, I think it's a great opportunity for the fans and also the players.
Yeah, I think it's awesome as Cole Serdachny makes his way in, and a pass back in front. Austin Peters was looking for his 4th goal of the game, but had that one just slice wide as Peters will leave it along to the blue line. Matthew Lessick will work this down low. Down inside of the offensive zone, Team Blue trying to keep themselves and trying to find their way back onto the score sheet after surrendering a goal. Only 1 goal so far in this third period. Teo Pisani with the only marker. Back down to the right wing corner. Golden trying to work off a check and push that up the boards, but Team Blue did a good job of holding it in down below the goal line. Scrum forward here as they will come back up the wall. Here's Peters back with it again on the right side. Push to the left wing point. Cadets were work it down to the left circle. Now it's a nice little move there. A couple of them by Lessick as he tried to put it toward the front of the net. Bouncing puck that will come loose into the right circle and put back up the wall on the right side now, where it's taken here by Garcia. Danilo Garcia back behind the net. Round the boards on the left side now, and at the blue line, Cadets just couldn't hold it onside, so that will be an offside with 8:28 to go here in the third period. 7-2 Team Blue with the lead and ironing out the kinks here before the first exhibition game on Saturday night. And it's a great time of year. Fall's coming around. We're coming up to the best month of the year, in my opinion, which is October, because you have hockey starting from, the BCHL is going to be well in swing, the NHL is in swing, football's in full swing, and of course the baseball playoffs get going too. So I think October takes the cake for best month of the year.
I don't disagree with you on that. Other than the summer is just awesome, but
the summer's great.
October is when things really
if
start
you're a
to
sports fan, I think
heated up.
it's either October or probably April.
Yeah,
that kind of has that lore too. The only thing is you don't have football in April, but you've got baseball starting up, and that kind of just awakening. It's kind of just the start of spring, and you start to feel the warm weather come out. Hockey playoffs are in full swing, so that would take second for me, but I think first would be October. And because I feel like you can just eat the most amount of cookies you ever want in October, and nobody's ever really going to say anything about it. So nice move by Niehaus to the net, just couldn't finish it off. As Niehaus went forehand, backhanded, just couldn't find its way past. Palmquist finds that in the crease and clears it away as that is put up off the boards by Miller out to center. Nice move by Niehaus. He's had a couple of good looks in this game and just couldn't bury.
Yeah, he's a dynamic one-on-one player. He's got a long reach, and he's able to move the puck laterally very well as Doherty takes a big hit from Ethan Cronowit right in front of the blue bench.
Another chance in front, standing right at the top of the crease was Kiefer Miller trying to get that opportunity. Now taken the other way here by Team White. Brought alongside the right wing here by Doherty. Held just inside the blue line by Lang. Lang shuffles it down low over the stick of Mason into the right wing corner. Now it'll be Oscar Wu that will take over. Played along right wing side by the Saints as they'll lift out to center. Miller tried to track it down. Now left wing side. Corralled here along the left wing corner boards and pushed back down below the goal line here by Team Blue. Around the wall right side. Lessick to the net, and that's gobbled up in front there by the goaltender in Quintillia with 7:04 to go in the third. Not to counter my point, to add to it by saying gobbling is, of course, Thanksgiving in October here in Canada. And who doesn't love Thanksgiving? Obviously Tyler, because he didn't say anything.
No, turkey and everything. Yeah, it's
a great time.
It is.
It's a great time of the year that's coming up. Now back on the left side is Ruptash,
we got
but
a fight.
There's a fight behind the play, and more of a, I'd say, scramble than anything else. That was well behind the play on that play that came up the ice. Not overly sure who got involved there. It looks like it's Ashton Hutchinson and Brett Barnes who got involved back behind the play. And not really sure what started that, but obviously both of them got tied up. Hutchinson, remember earlier in this game, got hit into the boards by Tegan Mudryk and got put into the Team White bench. So maybe playing with a little bit of a burr under his saddle after that. And Barnes got a pretty good talking to from the official there in the corners. So both of them get tangled up. They'll go to the penalty box. I believe it'll just be 2 minutes for each. I don't think we're going to get much more than that.
You kind of feel the animosity cranking up here a little bit over the last maybe 4 or 5 minutes. There's been a couple more big hits, and these guys have skated against each other here for the last few days, and I think maybe patience is wearing thin here a little bit. As again, the physicality started to kind of crank up, and there's been some yapping and some pre-face-off battles.
That's a great point, because I think a lot of people wouldn't think about that. These guys have seen each other and battle against each other for now. This is 3 straight days, getting on the ice on Sunday and then working through a practice for each team in the morning and then a scrimmage game at night. So this is, probably the 6th time that you would have seen some of these players in a row. And when you see someone for so long, you can only help but get irritated. So it's interesting that that's kind of peaked up here in this third period, that you're going to get that where you see someone for so many times that, and it's a competitive game. These guys don't want to, they want to go out with a good finish. So I think it's a good sign, and certainly is something that you like to see with those competitive juices flowing no matter what time of the year it is. Josh Polak in on the right side, couldn't advance his way further. Ruptash, a nice pass ahead. Here's an opportunity. Going to the backhand, knockdown was Pisani, and we're going to get a penalty shot. Teo Pisani knocked down from behind from Austin Peters. And Pisani, who's gotten 1 goal so far, he's going to have another opportunity here on a penalty shot.
Nifty little pass from the near side wall by Ruptash to find Pisani out in open ice after Golden did a great job of stepping up on Josh Polak at the defensive blue line. And Pisani gets hauled down on the breakaway by Peters, who's been everywhere here in this hockey game, but he's done a great job on this shift on the backtracks and taking away offensive opportunities, and unfortunately hauled Pisani down on the breakaway. So Pisani will have a penalty shot with 6:16 to go to try to close this to a 4-goal game, as there's some conversation and chirping going on right in front of me.
I'm sure a lot of it you could say on air.
Oh yeah, a lot is repeatable.
So Teo Pisani against Anton Palmquist, and a penalty shot here for Team White. Pisani through the slot to the forehand, he scores! He's got such quick hands, and had that puck just elude Palmquist, and he's able to finish off on his forehand for his second goal of the third period and makes it a 7-3 game.
Kind of baited Palmquist into going with the poke check on the glove hand side of the netminder, and Pisani just outweights him and then elevates up and over the right pad of Palmquist to make it a 7-3 hockey game with 6:16 to go. Does White have a late comeback in him?
Well, they're trying to push for it right now. They've narrowed the shots to 39-29, and Teo Pisani with a couple of goals here in this third period. And that one a nice one on a penalty shot as he's able to beat the blocker side of Palmquist. As it's Team White that will try to make their way ahead here. So a late game push here in this third period for Team White. Gathering that up is Serdachny as he'll try and bring this puck ahead through center and working down below the goal line now. Puck will come loose back up to the left point and across right side, put to the net there by Gabriel Kenny. That was knocked down as Team White trying to start ahead. Here's Lang, the defenseman, working his way into the offensive zone, stopping up inside the left point to the right side. Off the bench, a shot punched away by Palmquist on that try by Ryan Harvey. Lang back with it, high slot to the net. That one off a stick and will carry him up and will come back down from the netting up above the net. And that will see a face-off back inside of Team Blue's territory. 5.5 to go, third period, 7-3, Team Blue the lead.
What are you the most excited about here this season, just to put you on the spot?
Yeah, I think it's the integration of the Alberta teams into the BCHL. I just think that it's going to add another level of competition. And you've got 5 teams coming over that care about winning and will do anything to win. So I think that's the biggest thing, is that you can see that, and I know that's the direction the league wants to go in, and I think it's something that's so exciting because you want teams that want to be competitive, and I think it's going to be ultra competitive in this league this year. You know, we've talked about it a lot off the mic. There's no opportunities to take nights off in this league, and I think it's going to be very interesting to see how these teams are able to adapt to that night in and night out with so much attention too. You know, there's going to be a lot more college scouts watching, a lot more NHL scouts watching as well, so I think that just adds to all the fun as Palmquist comes out and covers that puck up after Lozier gave him a little bit of a poke, and Stephen Kirkpatrick has some words for him as the two go to the sideboards. But I think it's just going to be entertaining because night in and night out, you don't know what's going to happen. I think sometimes, you know, you would go into games before, and maybe if you're playing a lesser opponent, you know what's going to happen. I'd give you a lot of money if you knew what was going to happen on a night in, night out basis in this league this year.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. There was a lot of nights where you'd show up to the rink and you kind of knew what the result was going to be. It was just a matter of what that result looked like, and you know, I think that the excitement level again for the fans and the organizations that have you know, now joined such a prestigious league like the BCHL and the programs that are involved. And you know, that's the thing is they're programs. They're not just teams. They're not just a one-off team that you know, it's 1 year and you're kind of done. It's you know, you have so much rich history and obviously all of the, you know, past alumni. You know, the list goes on and on and on of you know, who played in the BCHL and it's now playing, you know, in the NHL and professional hockey all the way around the world. And you know, the opportunities that it opens up for all the athletes you know, now in Alberta to have that chance to play at that level, I think is something that's just, it's outstanding. And I think that you know, it's really going to elevate you know, not only the games on the ice, but what the organizations also have to do you know, to stay competitive and what they, you know, the different tactics at trying to figure out ways to, you know, better your program and find those players. And you know, there's so many different exciting aspects to it.
Yeah, and I think locally, one of the most exciting things will be moving into Heavy Metal Place, which was recently named the other day, which I think is a phenomenal name. And I think that it will add that as a long shot for the blue line finds its way through. The shot originated from Cadets and looked like it was deflected in front. I think Josh Polak got a piece of that to make it 8-3 Team Blue.
It'll be Polak. Nice little deflection. And again, just showing great job by Cadets, just showing how important it is to throw pucks on the net and have that traffic in front as Polak was able to get a stick on it, and that just eludes Quintilio to the glove side. And Team Blue quickly restores their 5-goal lead after Pisani had made it a 7-3 hockey game.
Yeah, I thought maybe Team White would be getting back into it after the Pisani penalty shot marker, but it is Team Blue that gets back with that 8th goal to make it 8-3, and we'll work back toward the front of the goal. Palmquist will steer that back below the goal line. Team White back with it again behind the net. Colin Doherty and Polak, they get involved down into the corner, and they'll have a wrestling match. Doherty's got his helmet off, and now Doherty's got his gloves off. Polak is going to drop him as well, as we have a fight in the corner, and it'll be Polak who will score the takedown, as the animosity in this game has just creeped up and up so far. Doherty gives him a playful tap on the knee, as does Polak, and both those guys drop the mitts here in the final moments with 3:30 to go in this third period, and both of them will be heading off for the remainder of the night.
I didn't see any of this happening after the first 40 minutes, but as this third period has gone on, I think the guys in blue and the guys in white have just gotten tired of competing against each other, and it's like, okay, well, let's go. Let's see what you got.
Yeah, I think so. I think, you've only, as mentioned, you've only gone so many days against each other. It'll be nice to see someone else in a different colored jersey when we get to Saturday in Brooks. And Doherty and Polak have had quite enough of each other, so they're going to go to the dressing rooms. Of course, the most important thing of that is that nobody got hurt, because that's the last thing that you want to see in one of those situations. Team White will work this back into the right wing corner now, as Perron trying to look for that, and Juck will play it up the boards on the left wing side. Kirkpatrick trying to find that, and back out through to center now will be taken along here, and it will be Team White trying to advance that in. Brought along by Blue, sent to the middle and trying to find a way to get toward the front of the net, and just unable to do so, as this puck will come back to the blue line, back at the right point. Held on there, and a long shot by Oscar Wu is knocked down. Sent back along now as it's taken here on the right wing. Cut back in by Lang, and that will be an offside against Team White. 2:46 to go in the third. 8-3 the score.
Yeah, Perron got a good lick on Wu there at the Team White, the blue line, as again the physicality just continues to ramp up, and chirping going on between the guys on the ice and on the bench. And yeah, I can't say I've ever really seen things get this heated, as guys are saying, okay, well, come out, come find me.
Yeah, I'm sure their coaches might want to rein them in a little bit now. But yeah, you certainly see it. You're right in between a couple of conversations going on down there with some players down on the bench right now. It's definitely entertaining to watch. These guys aren't treating each other like they're teammates right now, that's for sure.
Yeah, someone might tell them that they have to wear the same color jersey the next time they go on the ice.
Back in front, that was a good save by Palmquist with the right pad as he knocked down that attempt in front by Lozier. Lozier back with it again in the slot. That one up and out of play. I don't know if you've seen it before. Our broadcast location, at least for us up here, is so close to where the netting is, and I might have to try and catch a puck this year at some point in time.
It's been known to have holes in it, and pucks do fly around. I'm trying to think. It was a couple of years ago we were up in the booth, and somehow there was a puck that caromed up off the crossbar and over the one beam, and kind of landed like right in front of you. Brandon and I were standing there, and he just said, "Yeah, his sweet safety netting," and that was something I'd always get him riled up about.
Yeah, you'll learn that there's plenty of things that you can get me riled up about. It doesn't really take a whole lot. But this will be an interesting.
I look forward to exploring that.
Well, I'm sure we will. We're going to be on the air enough this year. We're going to have enough hours talking to each other that I'm sure there'll be some things that'll come up. I just want to take a souvenir home.
Oh, we could probably organize that. Again, some more stick work. Ruptash and Kronowit here.
Yeah, Ruptash, Kronowit getting involved. Those are two guys that know each other well.
Played the whole season together last year, and yeah. Honestly, I have a really strong feeling that, you know what, these guys have been on the ice a lot. The end of training camp is, just 2 minutes away. You've skated against these guys. You've played against them. You've competed against them. all sorts of different things, and you know what, you've pushed your body to the max, and you know it's you get a little bit tired, and again the patience wears paper thin and things escalate quickly.
That's the one thing about these camps that I think, you know, some people might not understand. They are hard, and not just hard in the fact that, you know, you're going to work hard, but you're going to battle, and that's what a lot of teams want to see, because when you get into the season and then the later points of the season, when you're in March and April and May, that is when some of these habits in training camp can really come up and help you out too. So there's a lot of animosity out there. There's a lot of intensity too as we play this game 4-on-4 right now. It's what will finish things out 4-on-4 here in this one. Lesick with a pass through the middle of the ice now as Miller will get to it on the left wing side. Miller trying to make his way in and battle forward. Here's the puck. Will go down below the goal line. Here's Miller with it once more. Centering pass in front, and a backhander just put wide at the front of the goal. As going toward the front of the net there was Kirkpatrick, who just sliced that wide in an effort to get his second goal of the game. Carried back out through to center there by Team White. Knocked down in neutral ice, and it is collected up and sent through the middle now, and a chance in the final minute of play here to the backhand. Pisani tried to go to the front of the net. He was looking for his hat-trick marker, as now it's Molfeld that will crash in on the forecheck. Down below the goal line now, Peters will get to it and start his way ahead. Austin Peters carrying inside of the offensive zone. Peters on the right wing side, lost the handle on that. Now as it's Team White that will take over as they try to make their way ahead. Sent back inside of the Team White zone. And starting their way up ice on the right wing side here is Adam Lang. Lang with a quick shot. Low to the ice and fire just wide on the glove side. In from the blue line. Now trying to work that down low is Adam Perron. Perron working to the outside here in the left circle. A pass to the middle that was broken up by Peters with just 10 seconds left in this intra-squad hockey game. And the final tune-up before the exhibition season starts on Saturday night as the puck along the right wing side. One last chance for Pisani. He couldn't tuck it in, and the final buzzer will sound. Team Blue, a convincing 8-3 victory here in this intra-squad contest. And Austin Peters highlighting things with his hat trick in this game, and certainly makes you feel pretty good about where this team is at heading into their exhibition opener on Saturday in Brooks after a strong performance here for Team Blue tonight.
Yeah, Blue was dominant right from the get-go. Kept White off the shot clock until the 11:20 mark of the first period, and really dominated throughout the hockey game. And obviously end up winning 8-3, highlighted by Peters and the 3 goals and 1 assist that he tallied here tonight. And you know, just to kind of finish off your thought about the competing and that sort of thing in training camp and being able to elevate your level, because if you can't compete against your own teammates, you're not going to show up when push comes to shove at the most important times of the year. And always kind of circulate back to the Michael Jordan documentary. It's slipping my mind what it's called again. What was it called on Netflix? Anyway, well, I can't believe I'm forgetting it.
I can't help you out there.
You never watched it?
Is it Last Dance?
Last Dance.
There you go.
Have you seen it?
I have,
Okay,
yes.
well, when they talk about the Dream Team and the practice that they had, and they said it was probably the best basketball game that any of them have ever been a part of. And it was a blue-white game, basically. And, because they knew that if they were able to show up against each other, they were going to be able to dominate and take care of the opponents that were put in front of them, because they were able to get to that level. And, it was a pretty feisty affair towards the end of this game. And, excited to see what transpires now as we head towards Saturday and the game against Brooks.
Roster's getting close to being finalized as there's still some spots up for grabs, and Saturday, the opener in Brooks in the exhibition season. We'll have it on the Saints Radio Network for a 7 o'clock puck drop on Saturday night. Trevor Miller signing off here from the Grant Fuhr Arena. Big thanks to Tyler Oak for joining us on the broadcast tonight. The Saints back in action again Saturday night in Brooks against the Bandits. We'll have it for you on the Saints Radio Network. Until then, enjoy the rest of your Tuesday night.